Fortune and Strife features subjects which can be uncomfortable for a general audience, such as the use of drugs and alcohol, poor treatment of people of different classes or cultures, adult situations, psychological trauma, deprivation, survival, natural disasters, and violence. Listener discretion advised. In addition, these next few episodes of the show contain cultural and historical content based upon the peoples of Asia and the Far East. We are coming at this from a place of respect and genuine interest and a love of these cultures, places, and history. We may not get it 100% right all the time, and we ask you to bear with us and give us the benefit of the doubt, and we would let us know when we get it wrong. We want to be an ally in dispelling Orientalism that has affected the Asian and Middle Eastern communities around the world. Welcome to Fortune and Strife. I am Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, and I'll be your host and narrator.
I am Chini, and I am playing Doji Gen.
I am Tyler, and I am playing Akoto Ricci.
Hi, I'm Eric Chalk, and I will be guesting in as Ide Minato.
Let's play some L5R in the Burning Sands.
Well, with the Crocodile Orwani defeated, you all are able to take some time, take some rest, get some fresh water, and things are finally quieting down for you all.
I was going to ask if you were still poisoned, exhausted.
Yes, you are still exhausted. That requires at least 6 hours of sleep, undisturbed, to alleviate, unless someone has another way of overcoming exhausted. But that is the normal course of treatment. Perhaps Ricci might be able to think of something with something inside his medic's pouch or his alchemy kit to alleviate that. That might be something to work on in the meantime. Yeah. How do you guys find yourself spending your time, or how much time are you planning to spend down here in the cistern?
Hopefully not too long. But I don't know how long it's going to take for some of this heat to cool down, if you catch my drift.
Well, luckily in the cistern, the air is actually at a cool temperature. It's like being a bit in a root cellar. It's nice and cool, if a bit damp down here, and for some of you that might be a welcome relief after spending so much time in the dusty heat of being in the burning sands that's generally permeates the whole area. Unless you have a good garden set up, like around the Caliph's palace and the Emir's estate. It's at least it's dank and damp and dark, but at least it's cool and a little moist, so your breath isn't just rasping at the back of your throat.
Well, although she is feeling very miserable, I am definitely compromised at this point, and that strife's not coming down anytime soon.
Nope.
Considering, again, for a while had broken down and was just kind of weeping into Sueno's lap. But finally, she kind of pries herself up to go wash herself off, wash her sword off. And there is an interesting creature that she has never seen before that definitely, while she's resting, needs to be drawn and put in her book. So,
that brings an interesting question. Has Gen spent much time in the marshlands of the Daidoji?
Not really, no.
Okay, so then yeah, there's probably something that she has not seen too close up. You've heard stories of creatures like this in the Uebi marshes of the Daidoji lands, but yeah, you've probably never seen one, and this is probably just closely related to them. Yeah,
it might be another species. There might be variations between this kind and the Rokugani ones, even if she has seen other drawings.
So yeah, the next thing
them.
Sueno knows is you've already gotten out the book and a bit of charcoal and have started to work on laying out the basic sketch of the crocodile here.
And so I'm kind of entertaining my passion for some natural philosophy. It's not enough to get me down below compromised, but it
But it is a thing. So in this case, passions generally need to be made with a check, even if it is successful or not.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's discuss what kind of check this is. I guess it would be a fire aesthetics to start the sketch work for a new drawing.
okay.
And because of the low light, I'll give it a TN2.
Okay.
Right, it's not the best light to kind of get at this creature, but at least you can get up close to it, and it's not gonna hurt you anymore.
Well, it's terrible light, and I
It
can't
is
necessarily
terrible lighting. Wow,
and I can't really draw it, but
and you've never met anything like it. Fukurokugen is more about knowledge than artistic ability. Yeah, no,
it's okay.
yeah, but at least hey, you get three fire ops. Consider this a downtime action if you wanted to look at different options for you to spend your three ops here.
Okay. I am
But it is unfortunately an awful picture of a crocodile.
very, very embarrassing. But hey, what can I say? Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I will take 2 of those fire ops and use them while I'm talking to energize another character in my company with my efforts. They may perform 1 additional downtime action in this downtime to a maximum of 2.
There you go. Who are you going to target with that?
I think Ricci can use two downtime actions, even if it's only for resting twice or some such. I'm sure he can be more productive than me.
Yeah.
Considering I am drawing. The other thing, let's see, is there anything else that I want to do?
Let's see here. Fire. That's as if you
I can
succeed
I
the biggest
can I
damage
can
from
assist
copying.
I can assist another person with the downtime activity while I'm
Oh,
doing this too.
that's another good one with fire. Yeah.
And who I assist will depend on what other people are doing. So
Sure. Let's see here. I think that Hayate is probably going to do his best to um, gather water and butcher what pieces he can of this creature. I mean, this creature could weigh up to 2,500 pounds, so it's not like you can take it all with you. But he's going to try and make some choice pieces. He's going to make the best use of his skills as a wilderness tracker and guide and hunter, which is, at least one of the things he's finally feeling like, his skill set is being put to use here as a kitsune samurai.
all right, I will assist him, but I'll ask a favor of him. He's doing that.
Oh, sure.
Could you get me one of those teeth?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Meanwhile, I think that Sueno is going to set up a series of tripwires, both as a means of tripping up people that are coming after you, but also giving you hopefully a signal in case someone comes after. So that's what she is going to go off and try to do.
Okay.
How about you, Richie? What might you do for your downtime action? Or your two downtime actions?
My 2 downtime actions. I've been thinking about it, and I'm trying to decide how effective I could be here. I think one of the main things is just resting up, because I did get a little up and close with that monstrosity that we just fought here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just having a little bit of a rest is not a bad thing here. But I think the other thing I want to do is just take a little bit of time that I can take here and try to see if I can put together another draught, another fortifying draught.
Okay. So, okay, how do we want to assign rest in this regard? It's not going to be 6 hours of sleep, in a place or way that is possible. It's not like you guys have bedrolls or anything like that to, provide you with any type of real comfort. You would just be sleeping on wet bricks or trying to. And so I don't think that's going to get rid of exhausted, but we could try to look at different ways of what rest can look like in this regard. Like what kind of stakes do we put up for a check to represent rest, or do we just say, man, he just sits and zones out for a little while, crosses his eyes, and it alleviates at least a little bit of stress or fatigue.
That's kind of what
Um,
I was thinking, to be honest.
okay, yeah. In which case, I don't necessarily think we need to make a check. Yeah, it can because it can kind of be different ways, whether it's actively doing something to rest or whether it's just like, man, I'm just gonna zone. So let's just say that you're zoning out, doing nothing for a good couple hours, and even if it's just a brief nap, nod off, and leaning up against the wall. Let's call that one fatigue and two strife.
Okay.
It's not much, but let's I can see it kind of representing two water ops. I think as a brief way to rest. It's not a whole lot, but it's something. It's an extended calming breath in some ways also. But yeah, it's because I'm trying to think of other ways to represent rest by not doing a whole lot. But yeah, I think without implementing some sort of check to represent how you might set up a more restful state, that's the most I think I can give you.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Because
Okay.
it's not, again, this is not the most optimal place to be
Yeah,
doing anything.
exactly. All right. So, with that, just a little bit to maybe take the edge off. Ricci finally gets around to pulling out his pack and his kits and puts them out together. And in the dim light of the cistern, tries to put together a fortifying draught, which is going to be in Path of Waves.
Yep. TN4 medicine earth check.
Wow, there you go. Already got it keyed up.
So I'll go ahead and roll that. My earth of 3, my medicine of 4.
All right. And do you have any void or anything like that you might want to spend?
No void.
Got it. So, crafting the Fortitude Draught is a TN4 Medicine Earth check. How'd that turn out?
Well, I only got 3 successes, 2 opportunities, and 2 strife. So that's a little unfortunate. But what I'm seeing here is that I will be, trying to concoct something here, and it turns out that I've come up with a really caffeinated tea in this regard. So I'm going to take those opportunities to reduce some strife down for again. Doesn't do anything for exhausted or fatigue, but it does get a little bit of a pep in your step, if you will.
Excellent.
There you go. Helps get her hopefully a little bit more focused, even if it might give her a little bit of the jitters. You mix up ginseng guarana and cola nut, and as well as a couple other things in your attempt to get this fortifying elixir, and it doesn't come out great, but hey, it's still it's something to get her to focus a little better. So that's always good. All right. So as you're kind of working on getting that done, and Gin is sipping on who knows how well that tastes, but at least it'll, like I said, get her a little more focused than from where she was at. Uh, you know, Sueno and Hayate are the kind of first to notice a pair of very wide open eyes kind of coming from around the corner, and this this small child, probably I don't know, 10 or so. It's hard for you to kind of tell at this range. Just kind of peeps out, and then it notices that two of you kind of look back at it, and Hayate kind of reaches for the spirit first, unsure of who might be out there, and then they poke their head back up again, and they kind of are. You're not going to eat all of that, are you? And Hayate stops reaching for his yari, his spear, and leaves it there, and laughs a bit, and says, no, no, child. Well, there's more than enough to go around. Here, why don't you come on over? I've already cut up a few strips. They're yours if you like. And He has set them out on a small, furoshiki, a small handkerchief that he had with him, and he rolls up what would effectively be some of uh, the belly bacon, some of the fatty meat of the underbelly of the crocodile here, and passes it off to the child. There you go. It's all right. Feel free. It's still raw. We don't have much for making a fire down here, but it should still do you all right. Or you can take that home if you'd like. Mm. The kid kind of grimy, but not in a terrible way. Just in a way that children get when they've been out for the day. This definitely is not a child who's just uh, starving to death, but definitely hungry. And kind of nods. Yeah, I'll take it home if that's all right. I can I can bring this back if you want. And so he's no, that's all right. You can keep the furoshiki as well. And they get all excited and just thank you for the kindness. I'm Selah, and I'm Kitsune Hayate. If if you think you're up to it, I can show you a bit of how I'm doing this, and we can maybe take some more and set it up for your family. Maybe I don't know much about this creature, but maybe the one of the legs will go good in a stew. The kid kind of shrugs, but then nods and uh, goes to help Hayate here with the kind of taking apart of different pieces of the crocodile. So now I'm going to go ahead and do his downtime action here, and he's going to get unskilled assistance from the child, but actually, hold on, nope. Their profile actually has trade. He will get 2 skilled assistance, one from Gin. Sorry, Gin, do you have survival?
I have survival. 11.
Yeah, then there we go. So two skilled assistance for Hayate in this regard.
Yeah. That is very kind of you. Let me see if I can help. She Gen will help, as in giving assistance, but it's very kind of dainty. It's like, no, this is not something a doji would normally ever consider actually taking
Right.
care of.
It's not one of the. You're telling me this is not one of the doji or Kikita arts of how to butcher strange water life
No,
creatures in
she's more like pointing
the
pointing
wild?
out
Yeah.
the best way to. No, she's
Mhm.
supervising.
There you go. I like it. Let me see here because that was not the best check the Kitsune could have made here. Let me see if I got a advantage that might key in here. He does have wilderness survival. That'll let him re-roll 2 dice. Nerds. All right. Well, he gets to keep 5 dice, and at least he has 5 dice with symbols on them.
Well, maybe Gen's help wasn't very helpful.
It still worked. I'm not sure if you have the ability to keep a strife or not for him, but Selah will take one. The Selah is at least a little more helpful and direct, and actually kind of gets in with the knife on some of the joints to help butcher a little bit more of the animal. But still, I think 4 successes and 1 opportunity with 3 strife is not a bad check to butcher the animal. I think he's going to wind up with a goodly amount of usable portions of the creature here. Let's see here. What do I want to do with this earth opportunity? You know what? Let's continue with the helping of other people as everyone's kind of helping. You might be more supervising, but one of the things that Hayate is doing while you're kind of supervising with everything is he's helping you learn more about the creature inside and out. And so I'm going to go ahead and use an earth opportunity to reduce your strife by 2. as you are getting more natural philosophy knowledge and whatnot uh, of this creature. And then again, did you get to make use of your passion? I should have said once you made the sketch, even though you failed, that should have keyed off your passion.
Yes,
If you did not, please
yes,
do so.
I did count that down. So now with that, I am down
Okay.
to 8 of 12 strife.
I'm glad you knew it. It's one of the things I realized it's one of the things I realized I did not say out loud.
Yes.
Uh, but something that I think we all had agreed to. All right. So let me go ahead and add 2 more to Hayate Strife. Puts him to 8. Yes, after the fight. Oh, after the fight, he should have reset to 5, and then he gained the 2 more there, so it should be 7 and not 8.
Yeah, he's not exhausted.
He's exactly. Let me go ahead and make sure that that is correct. Yeah, so he should be at 7, not 8. Okay, excellent. I think that's it for bookkeeping. Oh, I need to set up Sueno's tripwires. Skills, skullduggery, or survival. He's got 1 there and 2 there. She'll use skulldug.
Thank you, Hayate. That was very enlightening. I have not yet had the chance to study one of those.
You seemed very interested in the creature, very intent on the way you were sketching at it, and I saw what you had come up with, and I thought you might need a closer look, a better examination. And he kind of realizes he's fumbling with his words and kind of thinks he might, realize he's insulted the doji, but he's like, but I hope it's um, a closer look has been helpful.
It really has. My picture here, unfortunately, is not very good. It's not got good light in here, but no, I appreciate it. It is perhaps not necessarily the most decorous thing to study, but somebody needs to understand these things.
Oh yeah, no, it's a fascinating creature. I've heard that they are along the coast and in some of the marshes, but that nothing like this ever gets in the forest. It's well, it is a bit of a wet climate. There's not enough standing water to support something this big. At least, not that I've ever seen. Too clumsy around the branches and the roots, I'd imagine. Well, that's about as much as I think we can carry with what we have here, and with a Sayla, yeah, Sayla here taking the lug with them. I think we're fairly full up. And
Sayla.
yeah, that's when Sayla kind of. Oh, go ahead. Sayla, yeah.
I go to. I turn and like draw the child's attention by saying the name. Do you have a family here? Or others?
Of course. I have my mother and my father.
Are they very near here?
Yeah, we're not far. There's a whole little they kind of struggle to find the word for it, and then they're like there's a there's a there's a bunch of us a little farther down. We all kind of live together as a settlement
Here in the cistern area?
not here. My dad said not to come around here, that it's dangerous because of, well, he points to the to the creature. It attacked someone last month.
But you live under the city?
So I wasn't supposed to come around here, but
Do you ever encounter the guards?
Only when we go up, and then we know how to get away from them if we need to. we can get in through the grates, sometimes under different people's houses. Some of the
So
basements lead into
you
here.
like to keep away from the guards.
Yeah, a lot of the times, sometimes, um, um, if we're and it kind of gets like it kind of like looks down and kind of pulls at one of its sleeves. Sometimes we have to you know take things when we're really hungry or whatnot, and well, some people don't like to share as much as Hayate does.
We do not want to encounter the guards.
Oh, good.
We need to keep away from them. So please do not tell your family to report us to the guards or have them report us to the guards. All right? Please?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, we can do that. You've given us so much. And he holds up the crocodile's hind leg that he's got, like just so proud in his arms. Do you do you want to meet my parents? Maybe we can as I said, we can make a stew or something out of this.
That would be nice.
It'd be a lot just for my family. It's just the three of us.
uh, Again, exchange looks with Ricci and Hayate and Sueno to confirm that they all think that this is a decent idea, and if they also think so, it's like
Sueno with that kind of unsaid communication that is easy to pass between the two of you is like not a good idea to get involved in others right now. Meanwhile, Halate is just like, yeah, I like this kid, and is very gung ho to go and meet the other family, and kind of, he feels like he's starting to get into his own under the city here, finally finding his feet and his confidence again. Uh, after that fight and everything. Well, it's been a risky, life-threatening day between the Bronze Viper's assault and getting attacked by this crocodile. He's actually, like I said, he seems almost more with it and alive than he has been just spinning his wheels in the Emir's estate.
and how injured does Ricci look?
I would say Enrichi's also very much in the form of ready to go.
Yeah, unfortunately, uh
Mhm.
he's just spent. I think for the most part. I forget. Have Ricci? Do you have critical injuries right now?
Yeah, I am lightly wounded on my void.
That's true. Yes. So he does have that one kind of blow to the head that he took, but it's the worst he's gotten. He's mostly just uh, haggard and
Okay.
exhausted at this point.
Again, takes that all in, and it seems like Ricci's injuries decided her because she's looking very green herself anyway because she's still poisoned. It's like, well, you can't just stay here, and you seem to avoid the guards well enough. If your parents would not be greatly troubled, we would be grateful to meet them.
And with that, Sela nods, turns on his heel, and with the leg of the crocodile in his kind of wrapped up in his arms, he starts to lead you off under the city, kind of a la Max from Where the Wild Things Are. With this bizarre creature's foot in hand, and the rest of you kind of all in tow. Yeah, Sueno and Hayate gather up what few supplies and bags you have. Hayate hangs a couple fur shikis of different cuts of meat from the crocodile off of the end of his yari, and he almost looks like a Ronin traveling from one town to the next, but he's actually got some definitely confidence in his stride here that he hasn't had in many weeks of being pamperedly imprisoned with the Emir. With Tomo in tow, where does Ide Minato find find himself ready to pull off his latest endeavor?
For this one, he's gonna need a little. He's gonna need an adult. He's gonna need a little more seasoned assistance. So he is gonna go to his boss, Saskia.
Excellent. Yeah. So Shinjo Alasasia, these someone in town known as Nazia Salik, a seamstress renowned for her works with silks, but a trained shinobi and handler of unicorn agents here in the city. And right now, she is looking a bit frazzled and worried. She's kind of pacing back and forth when you come and see her. Minato, what can I do for you?
If you have a moment, I have an idea.
A few, as long as it's nothing too much. But beforehand, have you heard from Rikisa or Fakan at all?
No, it's my understanding that they are out infiltrating the Emir's palace. Is what
Uh,
I've heard.
yes, they should have been back already, but all right, yeah. If you do hear anything from one of your contacts in the city, if things are gone awry, let me know. But in the meantime, what can I do for you?
I have a somewhat bold idea.
Mm, all right, well, bold action is what we need right now. Liu has kind of given us carte blanche to kind of do as we need. But what plan do you have?
Leo had given me the assistance of one of his scribes, Tomo here, and we're going over
Bows deeply and kind of keeps her head down low and bows a little longer than she has to, just not to be noticed by the more senior unicorn here.
the materials and the manifest that just aren't possible for us to take with us to see if there's some way that we can leverage them or make good of them instead of just abandoning them on the side of the road. And one of the items that she pointed out to me was the caravan's porcelain. It's like,
Mm.
now, obviously, this is a valuable trade good, but it's bulky. It might not even survive our flight from the city.
If we have to, yeah, make a extra good time and really push the oxen or the horses, we'd lose half of it to breakage and inherent sin on the way to Rokugan as it was. Yeah, no, you're probably right. It's best to have that written off.
And and then he kind of pauses because he kind of gets that look in his face, like, I don't want to say these people appreciate our fine goods. He finds sort of more depleted. It's like, I do not think we could find someone with the right aesthetics to appreciate this material in the short window that we have in order to sell it.
Go on.
But I do have an idea of who may want it for an alternative purpose. When it comes to light, what our countrymen did to the caliph's favored, uh, sentiment in the entire country is going to turn against us.
Mm, absolutely.
And obviously, anyone who is high enough in station to take advantage of this and high enough in station to already understand the situation that's unfolding is in an opportunity to really capitalize. And I believe that the Emir is one such person. I suggest we sell him this porcelain, not as something that he will want to eat off or serve food or wine to his guests, but so he may hand it out to the people in the city in the wake of our absence, so they have some effigy of our countrymen to shatter on the ground and destroy. I think something like that will have quite a bit of political capital.
Alasasia has gone from worried and quizzical to outright laughter and with a fit of just devilish glee in her eyes, and she walks over and she just, in the unicorn tradition, just actually embraces you, gives you a hug and a kiss on the cheek, and is like, "My goodness, you're gonna turn what would be broken porcelain into broken porcelain and make a profit off of it? I can't believe you're going to make money off of breaking this stuff twice. This this is what we look for. This is what we turn to the E-Day for. My goodness, Minato. Absolutely. So how do we hand it off to the Emir though?
That is what I am hoping you can assist with.
All right. What do you need? I'm game. This is a fantastic way to make use of what we would just leave behind. Not only that, but it could perhaps swing a bit of favor with the Emir, as it were. He seems to be a man who is both out to get us, but also one with some knowledge and respect of our country and culture. It is definitely a weird situation.
On one hand, I would like to sell this to get as much koku as possible, but that may not be a possibility, and it may more be more valuable if we give it to the as a gift to the emir in exchange for passage out of the city.
Hmm. It would give him something to publicly show uh and uh rile up the anger of his citizens. I'm sure he would want to try and corner us and stop us if he could. But if
See,
there's a way that
I
he
I
could.
have a thought about that. I don't think
Hmm,
that's in his benefit because if they capture us and they kill all of us, they have nothing to direct their anger against, and it will flutter out like a
well, I mean,
untended fire. But if we are gone, if the source of their hatred has gone over that border, then isn't there even more justification and reason for their armies to follow us in our wake?
it's a possibility. It depends on if he's looking at the a long game or wants to force a confession out of one of us as part of uh, his own situation. If he could get a hands on a member of the Unicorn Clan of Shinjo's chosen followers, it's risky. He might be willing to cut the deal, but he also might be wanting to get one of us uh, and put us to the question. It also depends what the Caliph might order him to do. But you're right. If we could secure it properly. The other option I would say is go through an intermediary and make the deal that such that perhaps the intermediary takes responsibility for, well, I don't know, a certain number of gates or duty shifts for the Emir's men. If we might be able to find someone that we can leverage in that field, that also might work. That could give us both the way to make it out of the city as well as uh, unload this porcelain and give them their effigy.
That is an idea. Robert, one of my passions is heraldry, which doesn't have a lot of rules because it's something that,
We're gonna make up
yeah,
ourselves. Yep.
like with most passions, it comes with some sort of fluff test.
A
I
narrative bonus. Yep.
Yeah, I assume that you probably have sort of an understanding of dynasties and the various families and sects
Hmm.
associated with them. Is there a member of like the emir's, if not family, I want to say clan just because I've been playing so much Bannerlord lately.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but sort of the social construct group that he's a part of that is been sort of down and out and is looking for an up, and could we approach and sell to them so they could then turn it over to the Emir, so the Emir then has fuel uh, to sort of stoke animosity towards us?
Yeah. Let's call that a TN2 Earth culture check or Earth government check.
All right. And I also have a Urshuji called Ancestry Unearthed. Um, and it's when I make either. Sorry, what skill rolls did you want with this again?
Culture or government, which I believe are both scholar skills.
Cool. So anytime I make a Scholar Earth roll, I can spend bonuses to sort of understand some extra things about that family.
Perfect. Yeah, go for it. All right. So going over the list of heraldries and families and cadet branches in your head, what does Minato come up with this check here?
So he goes through the houses and he thinks he finds one that may work pretty well, because his study and sort of knowledge of clan politics gives him a little bit of insight and dirt on them, that they might be able to help leverage in their role. Um, and also, he gets the requisite successes and some opportunity. So that's where he gets that sort of bit of information, and he sort of instills a little bit of calm and Alisacia. If this is sort of a chaotic thing that's going on, and at least one of her followers seems to be having a level head and taking this seriously and finding them opportunities that they can exploit.
I like that. Okay. So, the family secret that you find out through your Shuji ancestry on Earth is that the Emir, though he has risen to power and is effectively the hand of the Caliph, has become his voice and his herald, and is of such high standing, is impressive for someone that the family does their best to keep on the down low. Is the son of a concubine of the previous caliph. He did not so much rise to immediate power as the one of the caliph's more direct wives gave birth to the son who now rules. But yeah, he is. Uh, that is the family secret they try to keep down, and the family's been rewarded over the years with more and more status and access to the current caliph, and that is where the emir gains much of his prestige as it stands now. Um, Meanwhile, you have found that there is the matriarch of a cadet branch to the uh, uh, Ibn Abbas family is Shadin Ibn Abbas. Uh, she is of a cadet branch who has kind of been on the outs and difficult times, but is still related to the emir and has, good political standing as a family, but still they have struggled from uh, finances and political plays that have not gone their way.
Do I know any sort of business or enterprise that the family might be involved in?
Feel free to name it. You can either make it up or I can come up with something.
I'll let you come up with something.
All right. So an enterprise the family is involved in hasn't really gone their way lately. Um, and the Ibn Abbas is a family that is and a clan that has been moving around a whole lot. They're very to me closely tied to some of the more Bedouin-like cultures of the Burning Sands. So let's say their livestock from moving herds of goat, cattle, and sheep has not been turning out well. Perhaps there has been uh, uh, some some terrible grazing or a sickness that has taken out several of their flocks, maybe especially their sheep, and so they have not had as much wool, and so their textile side business as well has kind of plummeted after these series of unfortunate, just natural disasters, as it were. Just not enough grazing, not enough water moving around. Things are the competition for it all, and then they lose out on both the ability to shear and the ability to sell the meat and move it to market. So yeah, let's go with uh, livestock sickness has ruined their flocks and then hurt their textile business. So yes, that's the current problems that Shadeen is dealing with.
Do they live in the city or do they live on the outskirts or something?
I would say that Shadeen lives mostly in the city nowadays. She's gotten a little older and is not doesn't have it in her to move around as much as possible. And so she has, the traveling with the flocks a young man's or woman's game at this point. She's going to take care of the family business as the hub spoke in the wheel of her many different nomadic family members that she kind of controls in a kind of a wheel that emanates out from the city of Alzawira here.
And in terms of Alasazia's intentions and yours towards bringing this together, do you want me to go and try and deal with her directly, or do we just want to send some sort of intermediary to try and take care of that?
So there was a couple plays here. You could definitely go and deal directly with her. You could go in disguise with an intermediary, as it were. It's very easy for you guys that have been in the city for a while. You probably have a cover identity. Not everyone knows that you're unicorn here, which is why all the other unicorn have a cover identity.
My character
Um,
probably doesn't because he has a giant dyed multicolored beard.
that is true. Your beard does give you
Like
away. All right, so well, I'm gonna I can lend you whatever support you need, but I need to know which one, which path do you want to go with here? Do we go deal with Shadeen? Do we go and deal with the Emir directly? Do we find someone else to be an intermediary here? I mean, what do you need from me at this point?
maybe being greedy, but I want all of it. I don't see why we can't give some of our surplus silk that we'll leave behind to Shahideen and her family to replace her stocks that are run down because of the death in her herds. And I don't see there's any reason why we can't take the porcelain directly to the Emir and hopefully give our allies some time to finish what they need to do in there.
All right, but I'm worried about uh, our shinobi. Uh, Deal with the Emir first, and we'll deal with Shading later, if not tomorrow. But if you can get both Fakun and Rakisa back, uh, that would definitely take a load off of my plate and some worry off of me here. The fact that they haven't returned yet with whatever proof that the Doji promised us was in the Emir's estate is worrying me.
I believe I can serve as a suitable distraction.
Excellent. All right. Uh, Off with you. Take whatever resources you need. And she passes you well, no, not to you, but to Tomo. Passes Tomo a couple of sheets of very nice paper and one of her personal seals, one of her chops. You have permission to fundamentally write whatever requisitions that you seem to need, and I give Tomo permission to use my chop and name for whatever you need to request in this capacity. Make it happen.
I will not fail you in this. With that, he'll bow low and make a beeline to. I assume they probably have like bolts of silk, but do they have any finished outfits?
More than likely, you probably have things that are also on the finished side uh, of outfits and fabric and whatnot.
Well, I've been told to take whatever I need, and if I'm going to be meeting with such a high value client like the Amir, I can't just go with the normal clothes I have on. So I clearly need to raid the closets for the best outfits and ornamentation.
I'm Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, your host and narrator, thanking you once again for listening. Remember to catch new episodes every Monday. If you want to catch them early or are looking for more bonus content, please consider becoming a supporting member of the Patreon at patreon.com/courtgames.
I am Tyler, and I've been playing Akoto Richi. You can find me on my personal accounts on Twitter, @ChurcherGames, or on Twitch, also as ChurcherGames. You can find the show on the web at courtgamespod.com, on social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram under Fortune and Strife, and on Twitter at L5RFNS. If you would like to contact us, you can email the show at fortuneandstrife@gmail.com.
This is Jeannie, aka Kakita Kaori, and also known as, at least today, Doji Gen. You can find me at my blog at the Winter Garden of the Kakita website, along with helpful materials for the RPG, and also on Twitter at White Veils or on Facebook. If you like, I am also found on the Court Games RPG podcast as a writer for Emerald Legacy, or check out The Table Is Yours for fiction readings of the FFG stories.
Hi there, I'm Eric Schock, and I will be guesting as Ide Minato.
This has been Fortune and Strife, a Court Games production in association with D20 Radio Network and the Rokugana Historical Society.
Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com